Fine
Yes,
with me.
Madam Chair.
We have a quorum, I think. I lost
Would
Maurice.
you like,
No,
would you like me to call the roll?
Why can't I hear?
I'm here.
Okay,
I just had to go do something.
okay.
Is Alana here? I see her, but she doesn't have any sound at this point. She's probably calling in.
I'm not
So wait a
supposed to
few
be able
minutes.
to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Let's start it. Come on, let's go, Liz.
I'd like to call a meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order on this Monday, August 24th. Mrs. Kukla, read the preamble, please.
Oh, would you like me to call the roll, or are we going to do that after the preamble?
Yeah, just in case Alana can check in.
All right, I will do it after the preamble. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read our preamble this morning. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law under COVID-19 emergency declaration, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conduct this meeting according to the Roberts Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by vote. Please mute your microphones. Thank you. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conduct its meetings according to the Roberts Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and the mobile version and activated by clicking on the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or the facilitator to recognize you, and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak in a particular case via our website and email. We've also received emails from those who have provided written comments on a particular matter. Back over to you, Madam Chair. If you'd like me to call the roll, I will.
Thank you very much. Now you can call the roll call, please.
Thank you. Ms. Britt?
Here.
Mr. Donovan?
Here.
Ms. Faith? Is here, but I see her. I do not see her. I don't not hear her yet.
Oh, we can see her now.
Yes.
All right.
I think she's going to call in.
Okay. And Mrs. Johnson?
Yes, I'm here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much. The first case, Maurice, you want to put it up?
We have some with withdrawals and postponements.
Thank you. Wonderful. Calendar 20-62. They're trying to work with an agreement with the city. We'd like to withdraw the case. Without objection, board?
Kelly, without objection.
Tim Donovan without objection. Carol?
Without objection, but Ms. Faith?
We don't have any audio for her yet, so I don't know if she can hear us yet.
She could do a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, I don't think she's got.
Oh, she can't
She's
hear
trying
us.
trying to call in.
Okay, and calendar 20-108 on Judson, they would like to postpone.
Without objection, Tim Donovan.
Okay,
Kelly, objection.
Carol, without objection. And we would give us a date on that, Judson, please, Mrs. Kukla?
September 21st.
21st?
Yes, that would be the earliest.
Okay, fine. Okay, without objection. And we got another case on East 185.
Tim Donovan, without objection.
Okay,
Kelly without objection.
Carol without objection. And give us a date on that one.
Madam Chair, on this one, we're going to squeeze them on September 14th. There was some error in the building and housing notice, so we are correcting that and reposting it. So we want to get them on as quickly as possible. So we'll squeeze them on the 14th, if that's all right with you.
Without objection.
Without objection.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Are we ready?
Gonna read.
Is Miss Faith?
Carol, you gonna read the case?
I will read. Is Miss Faith with us or not?
We can see her, but I don't know that she can hear us.
Okay, fine. Calendar 20-98 at 1854 West 48th Street. West 48th Street Suites LLC owner proposes to construct 1,140 square foot garage in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the agenda and in the public record. And Mr. Donovan, hit it.
Will everyone for this case, please raise your right hand. I'm going to make a statement. I'm looking for a response that says I do with your name. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do. Steve Mazzoni, Godfather Garages.
Anyone else?
Mr. Butts, you're muted. Unmute you. There you go. Now you can talk. Go ahead, you're live now.
So,
Mr. Butts.
how do I do that?
Say I
Unmuted.
do.
Say I do in your name.
You hear that then? I do.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Yes, we do.
Anyone else? There's not. Let's move forward.
Okay, history of the property, please, Mrs. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. And the records were found that in 1905, a permit was issued to erect a two-story dwelling. There are no variances on file for this address. And in the more recent history, I found that in 2015, there was a rental registration issued to the property. And Madam Chair, also in, I'm sorry, no, that's a violation. That's something completely different. That's all that I have, Madam Chair, just that rental renewal registration on the 15th. That's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yielding to a law department, Ms. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from the accessory building maximum square footage requirement of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, before we move
Yes.
forward, I thought I saw Alana for a second. And I thought maybe if she's now with us, we could ask her if she'd like to join in the votes that she temporarily missed.
Alana, are you with us?
Yeah, maybe I'm seeing things.
No, I can see her, what you're saying. I can see her, but I can't hear her.
Liz, did you text or email her to find out what the situation is?
Oh, I did not email her. I do not have her cell phone. I'll email her right now.
All right, well, forget my request then. Let's move forward.
Nice try. Who is the owner of West 48th Street Suites? Is he with us this morning?
Yes, that's me,
Who's you?
Charles Butt.
Okay, Mr. Butts, thank you. Tell us exactly what you'd like to do.
If I could defer to my contractor builder, Steve of Godfather Garages.
Yeah, basically, we just want to erect.
Okay,
a
please state your name for the record, young man.
Steve Mazzoni with Godfather Garages LLC.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we would just like to erect a 6-car garage for Mr. Butts' request in order to accommodate basically all the units in the building.
Are the lots consolidated?
If I could then
Mr. Butts, go ahead.
add to that, it's currently a 4-unit apartment building. We are converting it to 4 condos. And the idea is to make available in the Ohio City area tax abated, in other words, all green according to city standards, properties under $200,000. As you know, so many of them are very high priced now, and we think it's important to have a good variety. And so we're making these into condos, and we'll make them for sale. And this is to provide, there's going to be 2 one-bedroom condos and 2 2-bedroom. And the 2 bedrooms we think would need to have 2 garage spaces, and that will reduce the number of cars necessary to park on West 48th Street.
Well, one of your neighbors at 1858 West 48th, they are objecting with a list of things that they object to. Their names are Carl Seifert, Seyfert, and Anne Marie Weiland, Wieland. The maintenance, these are the things that they put in their letter. Maintenance and upkeep of the apartment buildings and surrounding property have been severely neglected. It's one of the most poorly maintained buildings on our block. The roof is missing many shingles. The shingles blow off and land on their property when there's a windstorm. The wood components of the building are rotted in many places, and peeling or missing paint can be seen throughout the building. The building has not received a complete paint job during the years of our residency. Attic and basement windows are in poor repair and have been boarded over. The brick exterior has damaged, missing mortar is in need of tuck pointing. Several exterior bricks exhibit spalling, perhaps due to stress. Gutters and downspouts leak. Downspouts are dented and damaged. It goes on and on. What is your answer to this, Mr. Butts?
I frankly didn't realize that we had a neighbor so upset. I wish we did. We like to work with our neighbors. But what I can say is that this property will be brought up to the highest standards for that sale. And then we'll have, instead of a landlord owner, it will have individual owners of each of the condos. And so I would think that that would be exactly what the neighborhood would want.
But the maintenance of the property has not been maintained. That is what they're alluding to in their letter. Is that true?
As I said, I'm not aware that there was a maintenance issue, or if there was, I thought my property manager would be on top of it. That's what she's hired to do. But these will be sold to individual owners, and they will have a vested interest in their property. So they will be brought up to the highest level, then sold. They'll meet the tax abated standards of the city of Cleveland, which means 96% plus furnaces and full insulation and all of those sort of things, low flush toilets and what have you. And then sold to people who will be taking care of their own residents.
You have to bring each of those residences up to code. The downspouts, the shingles on the roof, all the things that are alluded to in this letter.
That will be done as part of the sale, of course, yes.
Well,
Madam Chair, does the permit that he's applying for include any of these issues?
Probably not. This permit is for the garage only, I think.
yes.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm wondering, it's interesting. I mean, if you think about it, they could build their own garage. I mean, so this is an enhancement purely by the owner in terms of just trying to get a better price for the condo. And my question gets to be, since it's such a long and detailed kind of list of things that need to be repaired, shouldn't those be something that happens concurrently with this garage?
I can tell you that they would.
Has this been inspected by the city of Cleveland? Mr. Riccardi? Mr. Riccardi?
This is Liz Kukla. In January of this year, there was a violation notice issued to the property. I'm sorry, I did skip over that. So I wasn't able to pull the details for that. So there is a pending violation notice, at least one on the property. So yes, they'll be responsible for those items through another document that's pending in the city.
So, Madam Chair, to Mr. Butts, so essentially you plan on just gutting this building and redoing it, and you want to add garages for the owners who will be buying these units, correct? So what you have right now will be something different from what will end up later, correct?
Is that directed at me? Yes.
Yes. Just want everyone to be clear that this will be a full renovation, right?
Yes.
I didn't read it that way. I read it as garages only.
Yes, but then he did testify that he will be bringing the house to where they will qualify for tax abatement, which means he will have to gut most of it and rebuild it. So.
Yeah, it'll have new decks in the back there. You see those older decks. Those will be replaced with larger and new decks. LED lighting throughout. I mean, the standards for tax abatement with the city are quite high, as they should be. And that's what we've done with our other projects. And I think the community is aware that the ones that we have restored have been very high quality, have sold quickly, and have not been at the highest prices. In other words, we are proud of the fact that we produce these under $200,000 units, whereas so many are $400,000, $500,000, and $600,000 in Ohio City now. We think it's important to have diversity in the community.
Maurice, are you representing planning this morning?
Yes, Madam Chair. I do have one question. There was noted on the notice of nonconformance that these two parcels would have to be consolidated because you can't have a garage as a primary use on a piece of parcel. So my question is to Mr. Butts is have the lots been consolidated?
No, they've not yet.
Because that would be another variance if he does not get.
We certainly intend to do that. Yeah, what we'll end up with is actually 5. We'll consolidate that property, but we're going to end up with 5 taxing entities, the 4 condos, and then everything else, the HOA, which will be the garage and the land, the decks, the stairways, the roof, everything except the inside of the condos. That will be a 5th taxing unit. All of that is part of that process, the legal process that we need to go through when we condoize.
Maurice, does that answer your question?
Yeah, yes, Madam Chair. I guess I think the reason why the neighbors and others have questioned this project is because it was just coming in for a garage permit and there was no mention of renovating the existing building, which, having gone out and looked at it, it's not really in very good shape. So it's unfortunate that this isn't, plans for a renovation and a garage, it seems to me a bit backwards to just come in and ask for a permit for a garage when the lots haven't been consolidated. We've got no plans for the upgrade of the building. It just seems a little bit backwards, but we're generally in support of the garage on this, for this project.
And that's primarily what we're looking for. So we kind of know what the lay of the land is. And so I would be happy. We don't need it. We're not going to go ahead with the garage until we do this whole project. So I would be happy to demonstrate to you with the permit that we will come up with for the building, all the work that we're going to be doing, and then do them together. But if you do feel as though that we can do this, have this variance, if we meet those objections, that's really what we're looking for with this meeting, and that would be fine.
And Madam Chair, I would say too that we would be very happy to see this building renovated, put back on the market.
All right, fair
That's
enough.
exciting.
Fair enough.
Any other questions, board?
Are we saying though that we're going to take a step back because there are issues that we have uncovered during the testimony, lot consolidation, so maybe some potential zoning code violations that'll all be bundled together as a one request for a variance here?
I don't know if we can do that because it's only been applied for as the garage. We could request though that it be a consolidated process. Am I correct?
Or simultaneous, right? In other words, if it requires a separate permit, I don't even know the legality of it, but that we will come to you where we have all permits and the legal documents for the condoization and so on, and the consolidation. We're happy to do that.
I would say that Charlie Butts has a very good reputation in the community. Everything he's testified is true in my understanding of it. If it was somebody else coming to this board saying, like, I got this piece of property and I want to build 6 new garages, we wouldn't be handling it quite the same way.
Appreciate that.
You ready to make a motion, Mr. Donovan?
No,
Well, fine.
I'll let Hal do it.
Hal? Where is Kelly?
Mr. Donovan just said he was going to do it, so that's why I didn't say anything.
No, I didn't say I was gonna. It's just asking questions. So.
If there are no more questions, Madam Chair, due to the testimony from the appellant and the agreement from that he will provide lot consolidation plans, renovation plans, and whatever permitting he needs to get from the city. I move that we approve the variances as requested for calendar number 20-09A.
Second. Call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just for clarification, the lot split consolidation and the other items requested, will we follow this as a ratification, or are we just making that an understanding that these things will happen?
I think we only have control over the lot consolidation papers, if I'm correct. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong with that.
That's my understanding.
Well, I think if there's outstanding code violations.
Yeah, but that's on the city to enforce. So I don't know if we can, but
Okay.
I don't think he can build anything without handling that through the city. So.
Maybe just mention it.
Okay, yes. Honorable mention to make sure the appellant handles all his code violations for permitting with the city.
Sure.
Second.
Okay, great. Call the roll.
And so we're not holding this then. We're going to ratify it next week. Are we going to hold it?
We're doing the consolidation of the lots. Aren't we still predicating it on a consolidation?
Yes.
Yes, we will ratify once we get the lot consolidation.
Right.
Thank you very much. Ms. Faith, I see you are here and looks like you have an audio.
You're still muted.
I think she raised her hand. I don't know.
She raised her hand up, yes.
Oh, for yes, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Donovan.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Mr. Donovan,
Yes.
Ms. Britt,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Calendar 20-90 is granted. We'll hold ratification until we receive documentation that the consolidation is going to take place. And then we'll send you a letter.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Charlie. Okay, calendar 20-0106, 5003 Herman Avenue. I'll continue to read. Philippe Bernard, owner, proposes to erect a 3-story frame single-family residence with detached garage and open third-floor deck area in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for the relief from the strict application from the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the agenda and public record. Go ahead, Mr. Donovan.
Will everyone for this case, please raise your right hand. I am going to make a statement. I'm looking for a reply that says, I do, with your name. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. William Payne.
Anyone else?
I do. Matt Zone.
Thank you, Matt. Anyone else?
I do. Steven Sikorsky.
Thank you. Anyone else?
The Bernards you're muted.
I do. David S.
Thank you.
I do.
Anyone
Philippe
else?
Bernard.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I do. Jennifer Fitzgerald.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay.
Finally.
Describe the property, please, Mrs. Gupa.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This property was originally zoned apartment house in 1929. In 2002, it was changed to two-family residential. In the records room, I only found that in 1979, a permit was issued to demolish a single-family dwelling. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. That's all that I have.
Thank you. Yield it to Ms. Wagner for the legal standard.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from accessory building maximum gross floor area requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other landed buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance is not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bernard, tell us exactly what you'd like to do.
Hello. I am looking to build a residence for my partner and I at 5003 Herman Avenue. So it would be a single family home with a detached garage. I think I'll defer to my representatives with Payne & Payne Construction for any further details.
And who is the representative from Payne & Payne?
So, hello, I'm David Hess with Payne & Payne Custom Builders.
Okay.
And yeah, so Philippe was looking to build a beautiful single residence home. It's comprised of 3 levels and a basement. First 2 levels being 2447 in square footage, and then a third with an additional 743 square feet and a sun deck. And this house has been designed internally with Mike Cato on the exterior as well. And we feel it's an adequate size for the property, and are looking forward to keeping the Bernards, who currently live in Ohio City. They are investing more money in the area, and we think it'll make a nice addition to the neighborhood.
Do we have a rendering of what the house will look like?
You should. I've sent, those have been sent twice.
Maurice, do you have something?
This is all I have right here that I just shared. I did not receive anything additional.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Can he speak to the variance requests in particular?
Actually, Liz just sent me some updated drawings, which I never received. I don't know, can you see these? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I might also point out that this project, this house was approved by the internal housing design review subcommittee.
Okay.
And someone just addressed the variance request in particular.
I believe, and
Either Mr. Hess or Mr. Bernard?
yeah, I believe the request is the lot. To my understanding, the size of the home exceeds the maximum square footage allowed on the lot.
Correct.
But as you can see from the site plan there, I feel it's in line with the other homes in the area. Again, it's obviously the older code of Cleveland that I think is limiting this. And the Bernards would like to be able to utilize that top floor to get the potential views of Lake Erie and downtown. And so I think we're looking for a variance to allow for the additional square footage beyond what the code states.
They're not going to cut any trees down, are they?
I don't think there's any trees on the property.
Okay. Just checking.
Yep.
Is there anyone else before I call on the councilman?
There was a previous house there that was demolished, and so it's pretty vacant.
Okay. Councilman Zone, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Madam Chairwoman and Commission members. I have not met Mr. Bernard yet or his partner. I know the site very well. There are some scraggly trees on Herman, but on the site itself, there are no substantial trees. This is a challenging site. The topography is difficult because the house to the east is more on grade with that. And then as you see the western wall, you can actually see by this image here, the brick wall there. So we'll definitely need some grading issues. Those are the trees that are in the front yard. I'm certainly not opposed to proper pruning or removal of anything that's not indigenous to that area, and clean it up. But it's been a blight the whole time I've been the councilman, nearly 19 years. This has been a vacant lot. It's been a constant site of dumping, and so really excited that we're going to see this investment in this area. And I have no reservation about supporting the variance request.
Thank you, Councilman. Board, any questions? Maurice, City Cleveland Planning?
Yes, Madam Chair. This is, as I said earlier, the HDRS committee approved this project. We just asked for some minor changes, which they made, just with respect to materials. This is a relatively minor variance. We grant these all the time. We are in full support of this project.
Thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
given the testimony of the appellant, his builder, and the support of the council person and city planning, the variance 20-01. Sorry, 20-0106.
Second. Call the roll.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yep.
Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Calendar 20-106 is granted. We'll ratify it next week and send you a letter.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
all.
much.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Good luck.
Yes. Calendar 20-107 at 3886 Lee Road. Henny Al-Hadidi, owner, pardon me, comment on my voice. Proposed to establish use of carry-out restaurant in a G1 local retail zoning district and in an urban form overlay district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application from the following section of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the agenda and in the public record. Tim, go right ahead.
Everyone for this case, will you kindly raise your right hand? I'm going to make a statement. At the end of that statement, I ask anyone who wants to testify to reply with "I do" and your name. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Anyone here for this case?
It looks like there is.
Who?
I believe we have Hani Al-Hadidi. I don't know if I pronounced that last name right. He's got his hand raised, but I can't hear, or he or she, I can't see or hear them. Are you connected? Yeah, there's
nothing behind him.
Oh, now we have a picture. We still cannot hear you, sir.
Did you raise your right hand?
Can you hear us?
Wave your hand in front of your face if you can hear us. I see nothing. Oh, now I see a hand.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Can you say something?
We
Can you
cannot
hear
hear you.
us?
We cannot hear you, sir.
Can you call in on your phone? You call in on your phone. Can you hear me? I'm going to suggest we go to the next case and hopefully this guy can get a hold of us. Send him a chat.
Okay.
I did. He just typed yes in the chat.
Okay.
He's now waving his hand. I don't know that we can conduct a case without being able to talk to the end of it or him being able to talk. It's up to you, Madam Chair.
No, I don't think it's right. All right, let's put
Have
him on.
him call in with the phone.
Okay. We'll go to we'll do a different case. Calendar 20-056 at 2927 East 1115th Street. Portia Dunn, owner, proposes to establish as a state licensed residential facility in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application from the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the agenda and in the public record.
Will everyone for this case, please raise your right hand. I am going to make a statement. At the end of that statement, I want you to reply by saying "I do" and give us your name. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Good morning, all.
Your name?
Portia Dunn.
Okay. Anyone else for this case on East 115th Street? Here's not.
Okay, we've already had the history of the property taken in March. Let's go to the legal standard we'll be judging the case on, please, Ms. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from the spacing requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Ms. Dunn.
Good morning, how are you?
We're doing well, thank you. At the last hearing, we requested that you meet with the city planner and the councilman. Have you done that?
If the city planner is Marka Fields that I was referred to,
Yes.
I spoke with her one time, and upon trying to constantly reach out to her, she didn't give me a call back until Friday. So I kind of did a lot of work on my own from what the first email she sent me, and I reached out to the councilman, and he told me to reach out to, his name is Garnell Johnson or someone. And I spoke with Garnell. I sent him my PowerPoint, and I also sent him a letter because I didn't know how many signatures I had to get. I didn't know if it was just the adjacent neighbors or the whole street. So I tried to get the entire street, and most of the houses are abandoned. So I got a lot of signatures, and most of them were yes. So
We don't have a letter from the councilman, do we, Mrs. Kukla?
I sent him everything I sent Mrs. Kukla, and he told me that he doesn't attend the meetings. I asked him, would he be on the meeting? He said, I only attend the meetings if we're rejecting. And I sent him, I emailed it to him. I have his cell phone number. I talked to him, and I asked him, how does it go after this? Will you reach out to Ms. Kukla, or do I send you a letter and have you sign it and get it notarized? And nobody ever called me back. But he did tell me he only attends the meetings is if he's against it. That's what he told me. He told me his motto was, if my neighbors was okay with it, he was okay with it.
Liz, did you get a letter of any kind?
No, Madam Chair, I did not receive any letter from Councilman Johnson.
Or from Marka?
Nothing from Marka either.
Yeah, I have 3 emails in my outbox for her, and I never received a response. And she happened to call me after I spoke with Garnell the day before yesterday. She called me, but I was in the midst of burying my dad, and I had to fly out of town for work. Now that's where I am now. So it's just been a lot going on the last week, but I did try to do my part and reach out to her for her guidance and support to see what to do, because I don't know. I just know I remodeled the house thinking I was going to be able to open a group home, and now I'm going through these steps.
Board, any other questions? City of Cleveland Planning?
Madam Chair, I had a question.
Yes.
To Ms. Dunn, this Garnell that you're speaking of, do you know his position?
He called me after I called the mayor. So I'm not sure what his position is, but I called the mayor, spoke to him on his cell phone number, whatever number that he answered, told me he was out of town. He doesn't handle anything as far as what I needed done. He told me he will have someone call me, and Garnell did call me. He asked me to send him this letter, and I sent it to him. Then I called him back to see what was the process. Do he write you guys a letter? What was going on? And I never heard back from him or Ms. Fields.
So your understanding is that he's in the council person's office?
Yes, I have his cell phone number. He did give me that.
Okay, well, don't share that.
Okay.
I don't think he's with city council. I think he's with the mayor's office.
Oh.
Arnell Brown.
Oh, what's the difference? Oh, yeah, it says Garnell Jameson, Councilman Johnson's office.
Oh, that's a different one then.
Yeah.
Because I reached out to the councilman for his support. That's what Marka Fields told me to do. She says you're going to want the support from the neighbors. And yeah, when I spoke to him over 2 weeks ago, he told me to get the signatures. So I did that, and I sent them to him, and I haven't heard back from him. But I asked him specifically, what are the steps? I have a meeting on Monday. I need to write a letter for you to sign it, and he never called me back.
Yeah, that gentleman's probably in Councilman Johnson's office.
Right. You said that you collected. Have you submitted those to Ms. Kukla?
Yeah, it's on.
Yes.
You have submitted those?
They're on the screen now.
Spoke with my next door neighbor, Sean. He told me Ms. Kukla called him. But everybody said yes. Everybody that I spoke with.
Board, any other questions? I see Shannon's on it. Does Shannon want to weigh in on this? Maurice?
Well, Shannon, we have no objection to this project.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, given the testimony, I would move that we would grant the variance.
I second.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Ms. Faith,
Yes.
Mr. Donovan,
Yep.
Ms. Britt, Mrs. Johnson.
Yes.
Calendar 20-56 is granted. We'll ratify this case next week and send you a letter.
Who has the video game sounds coming through on the on this call? Anyone else hearing that like chimey sound?
I hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from me. That's indicating that someone has either raised their hand or sending a chat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you have video games coming wherever you
Actually, you should all have those turned on so you can hear if somebody's chatting with you.
Okay. Are we going back to Lee Road? Did they fix their problem? Maurice, you're muted.
He just, well, I saw his. Can you say something?
Yeah, hey, good morning.
Oh,
How
there
is
we
everybody?
go.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay, Madam Chair, we have the gentleman.
Okay.
I'm going to rewind back to his case.
Okay. Tell us exactly what you'd like to do, honey.
Yeah, we like to do like a
We need to
small
have him say
restaurant.
I do.
Yeah, it's been sworn in. We didn't hear anything yet. Yeah.
And we didn't do the legal standard or the history.
Okay.
Right. So, sir, do you swear or affirm that testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Your name?
Hani Al Hadidi.
Okay. Anyone else for this case? Okay.
No, just
History of the project. Let's go.
Okay. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 2007, it was changed to local retail business and placed in a design review district. And in the records I found in 1955, a brick veneer office building was moved from Taylor Road in Cleveland Heights to this location. And also in that year, a front dwelling was moved to the address of 16417 Glendale. There are no variances on file for this address. And in the more recent history, I found in 2003, there was a violation notice issued stating that there should be no substitution of use without a permit and a certificate of occupancy. There were no more details stated on that violation notice. In 2004, there was a permit stating, a permit issued stating that the use or trying to establish use as an office training station and a field inspection location. And in 2012, there was also a violation notice issued. However, I wasn't able to get any details off of that violation notice. And that's all that I have that's relevant, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. What standard will be judging the case on, please, Ms. Wagner?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting area variances from the off-street parking and landscaping requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Mr. Abdidi, tell us exactly what you'd like to do.
Yes. I like to do, I'm the owner for the building next door. It's 3898 Lee Road, the hair and beauty supply. So I bought this building and it's empty. It's in bad shape. I like to do it, a small restaurant, and the parking, it's already existing, and it just carry on, no sitting. We just like to make a small deli there, with a small restaurant in there in this area, because the building has been empty and it's been in bad shape. I like to make it something nice for the area, and I've been in business there on Lee Road 3898 for the hair beauty supply. The building really in bad shape. If you look at it right now, you're gonna be so happy because I renew everything on it, and it's a good business right now. We're making good money there, and we friend with the neighbor there. But the small building, this one, it's really in bad shape, and I like to spend money on it and make it in nice shape. Even I fixed the parking, I bought asphalt on it, a new asphalt and everything. And the parking is already existing. So you see the parking, it's already existing there. We just, fix all the holes in there and stuff. And it fits like probably for 10 cars or less. So it's not a sitting restaurant, it just carry on. So small restaurant, I like to do it. So I don't know if there's any problem just to, make it nice, cut all the trees around it, paint it, fix it inside because it's really damaged inside. And the building, it's really in bad shape. So I like to fix it and make it, a small business, make money, you know what I mean?
Is your driveway there for that building only? Is it paved and drained? Is there a drain? I don't see drainage.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see drainage because it's been like this. It's the parking is existing there, and it's it's a drain next to parking. There's a parking next to my parking. It's connected to B&M barbecue restaurant. They have a drain. It's exactly like too close to my parking, because my building, it's really tiny and small. If you see it, it's really, really small and tiny. So, and they have a drain in them parking lot. So, and my parking is existing. So it's been like this. And especially, I don't have that kind of money, to do the drain and stuff, because the building, it's really in bad shape. I need to spend a lot of money on it inside and outside. So I'm trying to save kind of money because the parking is very small and it's already connected to my neighbor parking, and they have a drain, big drain for B&M barbecue restaurant next door. If you put the picture back, you're gonna see it. They have a big drain connected to my parking. So it's just like, I feel like it's gonna be like too much money to do a drain, and especially it's existing parking and the building is existing. We're not changing, we're not extending the building or anything. So,
Madam Chair, to city planning, has this gone through any type of review, or has he talked to the planner at all? Like, what's going on with this exactly?
I cannot hear you good.
Have you talked to?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware. Who is the planner for the area, Maurice?
I believe that's Marka Fields.
Not so luck. Okay.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I feel like the appellant needs to speak with city planning before moving forward with this.
Spending any money is.
Yeah, there's just a lot of questions we have that he probably can't answer right now.
Maurice, will you send him the information who to contact in city planning, please?
Absolutely.
You're wonderful. Honey, they're going to send you the name of the person at city planning you have to contact. She will help you through the process, okay?
Okay, what's her name?
Well, he's going to send it to you, okay? Email or text message, whatever.
So
Madam
Maurice,
Chair?
is that via email or you're gonna put it in the chat so he'll know?
I just typed it in the chat. Mr. Honey, did you see that?
Okay.
I like, can you guys please send it to my email, all the information you guys like?
We will do that too. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, I have one more question before you guys interrupt. Am I allowed to do my small restaurant in this area, or you guys not gonna allow me to do it? So
You're gonna have to get involved with the young lady in city planning.
Yeah, we're just gonna postpone your case so you'll have time to walk your plans through with the city, and then you can come back to us when you have more things solidified so we can make an informed decision.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have with you guys one more hearing.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Alana, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just would like to encourage the appellant to connect with the CDC for the area and his council person.
Joe Jones is the council person.
Do we know?
Yeah, Margaret can help him with those type of connections. So
Just so he's aware that he should get their approval as well.
So, Madam Chair, this is Liz Kukla. For informational purposes to the appellant, the use is permitted here, provided that you supply the landscaping and the paving and draining and such. The landscaping is required at the front of the property, and landscaping is required at the rear of the property. So those are the items that we want you to work with city planning on before you come back. But the use is permitted, provided that you have those improvements to your plan.
Do you understand, honey? It is permitted,
Yeah.
but you have to work with the lady who's going to help you through the process. Liz?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
But the problem with you guys is the parking, right?
The parking lot
The parking lot and the landscaping.
and the landscaping. She will help
Yeah.
you. Okay? We're going to
Okay.
postpone the case. Liz, give me a date, 9/28?
That's right, Madam Chair, September 28th.
Okay. We'll see you back on September 28th, honey.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Okay, now we're going to 7715 Decker. Calendar 20-054 7715 Decker. T1 Dow owner proposes to use existing residence for a maximum of 5 people residential care facility in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the following section of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances is listed in the agenda and in the public record. Mr. Donovan, thank you.
Well, everyone, for this case, please raise your right hand. I'm going to read a statement. I'm looking for your response with the words "I do," and then followed by your name. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Nicola Cheeks.
Okay. Anyone else? Here's not.
Okay. History of the property, please.
Is there anyone else? Just
We were
real quick,
headed. Yeah.
I wanted to unmute some of the call-in users. Was there anybody else here for this case? No. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's quite all right, because I made a mistake. Instead of the history, I'd like the legal standard we'll be judging the case on. Thank you, Ms. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from spacing regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant was prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Is Mr. Dow here? Maurice?
I don't see him, and that's why I asked if either of the call-in users were Mr. Dow. Ms. Cheeks, do you know if Mr. Dow is going to be joining us today?
I don't believe so. Last time he gave me permission to speak on his behalf, and I had submitted that letter to Ms. Kukla.
Okay, so you're going to represent him, and has he met with the councilman, the CDC, and the city planner?
Well, at the end of our last meeting, which was on July 20th, it was stated that if we were able to find proof that other residential facility within 1,000 feet was no longer there, which we did get that information and sent it over to Ms. Kukla. We got from a letterhead, matter of fact, a couple of letters and emails from the state stating that the I can't remember the address, but down the street on Decker no longer exists. That license is expired.
Liz, did you have that record?
Yes, Madam Chair, we did receive that from Roseland Hawkins, and she does have an mha.ohio.gov email address. It says the Decker House was licensed from September 27, 2017 to September 26, 2019. And after she searched the databases, she found that no renewal application has been made from that date. And just stepping back, the address for that is, let me see if it's 7608 Decker Road.
So that's the one closest to Mr. Dow's proposal.
Yeah, there was another letter sent too, but it pretty much says the same thing that Ms. Kukla has sent, just stated.
Okay.
For the other star?
The other's further away on East 80th Street.
Are they saying that's no longer in use as well?
Ms. Kukla, did we get a letter from the councilman on this? I believe we did. I just can't find it at the moment.
Bashir Jones?
We have one from July 24th. They were asking for copies of the minutes. I don't have another one in my file. Let me double check my email. But I don't have it in this file. I just have the one where they were asking for the recording from last time. You remember that one, right, Maurice?
Yes.
Can I ask the plaintiff just a general question?
Sure.
This is kind of like your project, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you?
I'm the owner of the Transitional Plus, the executive director of Transitional Plus Group Home.
Okay. So your background is you've been involved with residential housing of this nature for a while now?
I have been in the social service field almost 24 years in November. So I've worked on the county level with children, residential as well.
I'm hoping you might be able to just give some insight for me. We've had a number of these cases now come before us. I mean, we're getting sometimes 3 or 4 of these every week. And I'm just wondering, like, where did this start? You know, where did this come from? Was there a seminar that somebody put on and said, hey?
No, and it's funny you said that because I didn't know so many people were doing group homes until I was on the last call and on this current call. But for me, working in children and family services for years, there's currently 16,000 children in custody and 9,000 children in foster care in the state of Ohio alone. So I know that where my passion came from. So, and as you see on the news, children are currently sleeping in buildings due to difficulty of being able to place. So I just wanted to do another part of social service, and that's how I did the Transition Plus. But I did notice that. So no, I haven't attended a seminar, so I don't know about that.
No, thank you for your honesty.
Oh, no problem.
Madam Chair, this is Liz Kukla. This is Liz Kukla. I found that I did find the letter from Bashir Jones. It's an email. He states that Decker needs a lot of work and we need to have owners take care of their properties. He states that he does not support this appeal, and that was sent to us July 24th.
Owner needs to take care of what property? The street property or this particular property?
But we only care about this property.
Yes.
Well, I've contacted him. He's never contacted me back. That's ironic that he would send a letter. I've never gotten a call back.
Madam Chair, we have Ms. Leonard would like to make a comment.
Yes, Shannon?
This is Shannon Leonard, City Planning. Just to answer Mr. Donovan's question, the residential facilities in Ohio, there is a great need for a variety of services, whether it's foster for children that are aging out of the group home setting that were never quite adopted, whether it's mental health, whether it's recovery. Obviously, there's a need in the state of Ohio, but the reason why you're seeing a lot of applications as of late is because I think COVID has maybe made people rethink their employment situation and are looking to open their own business. A lot of people believe that going into the residential facility, there is money to be made in that business. They are paid by the state, whether it's through the Adams Board or what have you, in regards to per person in a group home. A lot of people, I'm not saying this for the applicant, but a lot of people believe it's a low barrier to entry. You just need to take a class and then make sure you get the zoning approvals from each municipality, and then get your license from the state. And so it is a low barrier to entry. You don't need a formal education to open a group home. You do have to go through a training there's some of it is online and some of it, there's companies that do offer it in person, but they do have to get the zoning approvals from each municipality. So that is just something to keep in mind. Just giving you a little background on the group home residential facilities. Every city across the state sees tons of applications for these each year. But it is important to note that it is, you don't need a formal doctor's or nursing degree to technically open a group home across the state.
Well,
I'm also aware that local jurisdictions did not have any ability to control the placement and licensing of these. And that is why City Council passed the ordinance with the looking at density of use.
Correct.
By those 1,000 feet. So, I mean, I was aware of that. I didn't know about the online training, blah, blah, blah. I will say, given the photo of the house in question, it looks pretty good shape to me. I mean, I don't see this as being one of these abandoned houses that hasn't gotten any care.
No, it's really, well, I will say that the state already was involved with, this is the last piece of being approved by the state. I have already been working with Kelly Weaver from the state of Ohio licensing. And this would, well, it could have been done before, but with COVID, everything shut down and that was the last piece to become licensed. And I will say, contrary to what Miss Leonard said, I believe that's her name, that by me being executive director has to hold some type of degree, and I hold two. So you do have to hold some type of degree for, I would say, for the children part. I'm not sure about the other ones because I, haven't gotten involved in that, but you definitely have to hold a degree. And I was just waiting on this piece of information or this part of the plan with my license because I have already done that. The state licensor, Kelly Weaver, has already come out to view the home. And matter of fact, she was really surprised and she was pleased with what she saw.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Dunn.
If the two examples that were cited in the review of the case are no longer existing, does she even need a variance?
Madam Chair, Mr. Riccardi typed in the chat that according to the zoning map, existing facilities are at 7608 Decker, which we believe is no longer in existence.
Right.
But he's saying that 7507 Superior and 1421 East 80th are still within the 1,000 foot.
we weren't even informed of those the last time. It was only the 76 and one on Rydell, I believe.
Correct, on
Yeah.
East 80th and Riddell, yeah.
And if this
Map is
was,
only showing two though, so where's the third one coming from?
I don't see it on the current map. Let me, unless the map was updated recently, let me just verify real quick.
well, how could it be updated? We didn't give it a variance.
It's updated with the number of the places that have been licensed by the state.
Don't they need to get a variance from us if they're within 1,000 feet?
To operate in the city of Cleveland, but I believe they can get their license before they get their permit from us, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Why would the plaintiff be here trying to get a variance? If in order to get this, I thought in order to get the state approval, you needed the variance.
That's what I thought too.
Mr. Donovan, you don't need a variance to open a residential facility. You only need a variance if you're within 1,000 feet, but you can't get the state license without getting the zoning approvals.
Okay, so we did this map and we had only two identified. She did the research to say they're no longer in play. And now we're saying to her, well, wait a minute, we found there's a couple more that came on board, but we didn't give it any variances.
That's right. So there could have been an application that went forward and was approved without needing 1,000-foot variance at some point, and in some point in this time frame had, I don't know if there was a permit that was issued for one and the zoning map was updated. So that may be where the discrepancy is, where we updated the shape file for the mapping was updated with new permits that were on file with the state.
Wow.
You live in a world I don't understand.
Then that 7608 wouldn't even be there because it's expired. So
This is Lori Wagner.
For almost a year. Okay.
Yes, Laurie. Laurie, you wanted to say something?
Yes, this application needs to be legally judged in accordance with what was in effect at the time she applied. If new properties have subsequently opened, that's not something that the city can consider.
Madam Chair, well, I just looked at the map and nothing has been updated in that area. So the other one that Mr. Riccardi was talking to, if you look at the on the screen right now, there's one or two right there at Superior. I'm not sure if they're actually within the 1,000-foot. If they are, they're very close. But as far as I can tell, the one on East 80th is still in operation. And that is within 1,000 feet.
But the other one on Decker is no longer in operating.
That's what we've been told, yes.
Okay.
Did the plaintiff not have, I thought somebody had something on the other one that was there as well. It seemed to indicate it wasn't an operational group home.
Nicole, did you have another letter from another address?
No, I just have the letter stating for that address because that's the only address that we discussed on the 20th. And I was told that the one on Rydell was outside of 1,000 feet. So I don't know how up to date this stuff is, because if that was the case, I don't think 7608 would have been on there because it's expired. So I don't think OMAS kind of updates their stuff as they should. So I only have the letter pertaining to the 7608, which we discussed on the 20th of July. I wasn't aware of anything else because I sure would have worked out.
Madam Chairwoman.
Go ahead.
Madam Chairwoman, this is Councilman Joe Jones. I just now figured out how to do this mutant thing. So I'm sorry. I tried to do everything I could to get you guys' attention, but this is my first time on this system. So I know you're right in the middle of something, so I'm going to yield the floor. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I want to let you know I'm here.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay. All right.
First of all, did you see the photo of the house in question? Councilman.
Which one? Which one?
The one that we're looking at today. It's on, you have a screen in front of you?
Mr. Donovan, this is not the area.
I'm sorry, what now?
Right.
This is not Councilman Jones' ward.
No, this is Joe Jones on the line.
Yeah, Bashir
Yeah,
Jones.
this is
Not
Councilman
Bashir.
Joe Jones.
Oh,
But
okay.
what's the address? I know we were talking about Lee Road, but I couldn't get in because I had never heard of this guy or anything like that. And Marker Fields is doing a bad job for us. We need to
Hold
have
on.
our own BR. We need to have our own business revitalization district like we did in the old days, where the people who were a part of that zone, that board, was all Ward 1 residents. Now, these things are coming into the neighborhood. They're hitting you guys, and I don't have any knowledge of them. And the businesses that I've been pushing to try to get into the neighborhood, you guys haven't had an opportunity to even see it. I just think that this is not good for our community or our citizens not to have some better, smoother process and flow here. And so I just wanted to say that because I've been trying to reach Marker Fields and I've been trying to reach Mr. Collier to no avail. Left and right, and can't catch these guys for nothing. They're busier than I am. And I'm a code enforcement person. I'm a health inspector. Now I'm a police department personnel. I'm going out there doing everybody's job. I'm tipped off to the board that I'm out here working so hard into this neighborhood and this community and got no help. None.
Madam Chair, I think we need to stay to this case so we don't have our appellant hear all of this. So.
Right. Yeah, my mistake. I thought.
Right, but the point that I'm trying to make to the board, with all due respect, is that we got this one issue that you guys held earlier. I never knew anything about it at all.
Okay,
And
but we
there's
postponed it.
another case that's supposed to be in front of you guys, and that case is supposed to be on East 100, I believe, and 47th Street, where they want to install a gas station. And I guess they did whatever they needed to do and was able to get onto your agenda. However, we haven't even had a community meeting about it. I haven't had an opportunity to bring this before the neighborhood and the community. In fact, a lot of our projects have just been in a bad place in terms of being able to get the proper community vetting that's needed for these projects. So in this instance, if you have another project, we want to put that on hold too.
Okay.
Councilman Jones, your case
Yes,
on Lee
ma'am.
Road that we heard earlier this morning has been postponed until September 28th.
Well, hopefully he'll get in contact. I need to get his contact information so I can see what he's trying to do and see if if the neighborhood would be supportive of it. A lot of times what we're seeing is a lot of people, Madam Chairwoman, is coming into our community and all they care about is the liquor permits. So when we allow them to open up, the first thing we know, they're applying for everything and some in terms of permits from downstate to have liquor licenses.
I believe
So we're being inundated with it.
All right, Maurice is going to send you his information. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you can do that, that would be wonderful. Then I can reach out to this business person and talk to him. And then also, do you guys have the gas station on East 146th Street off of Miles Avenue?
Yes, Mr. Jones, yeah, they postponed that. That was actually postponed ahead of the meeting. And I know that
great.
Martha Fields was in touch with them, and I think they wanted to do a community meeting.
Well, thank God, because I called the death out of her phone. Then leave multiple messages. So I'm glad that they canceled that. Then hopefully I'll be able to sit down with them. But I think you guys are doing a wonderful job. I was listening to all of the presentations this morning, but I couldn't say anything. So I finally realized how to do it. So I appreciate you guys. And thank you for allowing me the deference. And please forgive me, Madam Chairwoman, and to the board.
Okay.
No disrespect intended.
Okay, thanks again, Councilman.
All right. Thank you all. And thank you for doing such a good job for our people in the city of Cleveland and truly vetting these projects out. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Back to Nicole Cheeks.
Back to Decker.
Yes, ma'am.
Personally speaking, again, I'm looking at the house here. The one that's nearby has been taken out of service.
Yes.
I think, personally speaking, I'm ready to make a motion to grant the variance.
Second that, Kelly.
Go ahead, Mr. Dunn.
I made the motion. Second. We got a second, didn't we?
I'll second it. Nobody has.
I did.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. Call the roll, Liz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Please mute your microphones, everyone. Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Calendar 20-54 is granted. We will ratify it next week and send you a letter.
Okay. Old business. Old business. 1, 2, and 4. Without objection.
Kelly, without objection.
Donovan, without objection.
Alana, without objection.
And Carol, without objection.
Madam Chair, I do see that there are other folks on the call. Diane McTeer, I think she was here for the East 185th Street case. That case has been postponed to September 14th. We postponed it at the beginning of the hearing.
Okay.
And then, Madam Chair, to this case that's in front of you, that's on the page right here, there is a new attorney, and he wants to subpoena people to come to the meeting. I believe they're experts that he needs to subpoena. This would be the 5th postponement, and it's very unusual for you to grant these postponements. However, this is unusual because the appellant was ill, and then the
What's
COVID
our lawyer saying?
blah blah blah. So,
Lori, what do you think?
Ms. Wagner? Laurie? Did she leave us already?
Laurie, are you still here?
I'm thinking you need a date in order to subpoena people to a meeting because they won't know what date. So give them a date and say, go ahead.
Well,
Subpoena
it
the
says
hell out of it.
it's scheduled for August 31st. It says right here.
Right.
Lori's name was on here. Maybe she's having connection issues.
Well, I'm just thinking, give him a date so that if he wants a subpoena, go ahead, but here's the date.
It's scheduled for August 31st. Postponed from August the 10th.
That's not gonna be enough time. You gotta.
No.
Give them 3 weeks. Say, this is the final date. So go ahead, subpoena your witnesses.
Can I push it out to the 28th?
Sure. Push it out till December, as far as I'm concerned.
Maybe we should give them to the 1st of October, October 5th even.
Go
It's the
ahead.
first week in October.
Yep.
I know that the License and Assessments doesn't want any, if you grant this today, they've asked that this be the last one as well. So we should give a little extra time.
We'll give them enough time so they can get everything together because this is it. So push it out to October. Yeah.
This is Lori.
You
I'm
mean
sorry,
to
I got
You mean to tell me
disconnected.
that August 31st is not enough time?
It's August 24th. It's 7 days.
Oh,
Not to subpoena people and have them appear.
okay. All right, they all have busy schedules. Okay, the end of September. September 28th is fine.
I think Lori's back though. I heard her.
Yeah, I am back, and I would recommend that you give them the time. You don't need to have a decision reversed on a procedural error. I mean, it is unfortunate that it's been going on for this long, but they do have a right to subpoena witnesses, and it will take a little bit of time.
Okay.
We're giving them 5 weeks.
Right.
Go it into October?
Yes.
Yep. First one in October sounds good.
Okay.
October 5th it would be.
All right. That's it.
October the 5th.
Sounds like a plan.
We're done?
Anything else, Board?
We are done.
Send that get well card. All right.
All right.
Adjournment.
Okay.
We're finished. Have a blessed week.
Thank you. You too.